Callie, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions tonight. First of all, welcome to the Blog Jam. We have tried to create a little bit of a sense of community amongst bloggers in town. It's an important resource for people to be able to find music and find what they like, I think, in town. And so you're doing that. First of all, what made you feel like this was something you needed to do for people?
Well, the blog started as something else entirely about 3 years ago, and then after that experiment failed miserably, it just kind of morphed into a music blog, because what I found that I spent most of my time writing about was music and shows I was going to and bands I was excited to see, stuff like that. And even now, I don't necessarily think it's a music blog per se, but more kind of a day in the life kind of thing. Like, I'll talk about anything from my kids' basketball games to what show I'm going to see, and often, like today, that happens on the same day, so it's kind of going from one place to the other. I try to maintain a calendar on there, just kind of shows that I'm excited about, that are coming up and what I plan to go see. And then a lot of it's just kind of like Twitter feed of, different artists releasing stuff, or hey, check out this YouTube clip, or, I can't get over this song by this artist, that kind of stuff.
Are there specific kind of genres of music in town that you try to focus on more than others?
I'm kind of all over the place. Grew up in far west Texas, so a lot of my stuff is kind of anything that's kind of vast and open that reminds me of that space. I'll listen to that. Anything that has an old school country influence, but then also a lot of like Hispanic or Latin stuff really gets my attention too.
Specific examples of that? I know that you are pretty fond of certain bands, so can we talk about a couple of those?
Sure. So for the Latin thing, I think Alejandro Escovedo is like one of my favorite people. His shows are always so energetic and so diverse, and just even when he's doing like just a 4-piece rock band, there's something there that's different and kind of like goes back to that influence. Monaghan's is probably my favorite band in the world, and I just happen to be lucky enough to get to know those guys. Their music reminds me of home more than anything else in the world. And then James McMurtry is probably, like, for songwriting, just when I listen to his songs, it reminds me of growing up. So that's 3.
And there's a very special band playing tonight that we both are quite fond of.
Absolutely.
Can you talk about them for 1 second?
Absolutely. The Pawns are fantastic. Tommy's another one of those people that I was lucky enough to get to know back when they were called La La Land. We all worked together at this company called Amplifier that I felt was kind of like this little nexus of like really creative, amazing people who all kind of went on to do something else. But the Pawns, when the Pawns came out of La La Land, it was one of those things where you just saw them going in a whole new direction and kind of just really, really expanding on what they were doing and really, 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 becoming something to hear. I want to hear every song they ever do. They're just that good.
What do you think? Obviously, Tommy and a lot of these bands like to call Austin home, and there's certain reasons that they do like to create music here. What do you think makes Austin unique for a lot of bands?
I think what makes Austin unique is that it's a really, really supportive community. I have a lot of friends in other cities that make a lot of music too, but I don't think that they get the support that they get here from. I mean, everybody comes out to the shows: parents, friends, younger brothers and sisters, your coworkers come out. Everybody's really excited about music in this town, and I think that is a really great thing for the artists.
Okay, and why? I guess for a lot of people in the community, people maybe in Pflugerville, out in outlying areas, who have kids, maybe can't get out more than once a month, if even. Why do you think creating a blog, maybe writing about music, why do you think that's important to help people direct them?
the most interesting thing for me about writing the blog that I do is that, it's kind of one of those things. I have a teenage daughter. I do go out to shows. I do have people who kind of gravitate towards, oh, you can have that balance of having a family, but also staying in touch with the things you love and the things that you're passionate about. Monahans, for example, all of those guys have like pretty young families and are just really, committed to both, their lives and their music. And I think that's a really beautiful thing. And I think any opportunity there is to showcase that is just something that should be done.
Callie, is there anything else you'd like to put across with your blog? Tell people about what your blog's about.
Like I said, I really don't consider it necessarily a music blog. It's kind of it's everything from my love of West Texas to my love of Austin to different friends to political opinions and stuff like that. And I hope it connects with some people, and if it doesn't, that's okay too. I think it's just important to put it out there and see, somebody will hit on it and it might make a difference to them. It might be useful to them, and that's great.
Excellent. Callie, thank you so much for sitting down with us. Callie Snyder with ShowWash.com. Thank you, and you're watching ATXLive.com.